What is going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today I want to talk to you about Faraday future tickers FFIE. I want to give you a breakdown of some of the data points, what shorts are doing, and everything else that you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And with that said, let's get right to it. So currently it is flat. Majority of the day though, it has been red. Very little volume, so 2.03 million shares being traded. 7.7 is the average, but take that with a grain of salt because it is Friday and Fridays are usually a little bit low for the volume. As far as news, there was something that did come out after hours yesterday, and in my opinion, I think that a lot of people are just getting tired of these kind of deals essentially, because I think it's been floating around as well. We don't necessarily know if these, I guess, icons or music icon in this case, or celebrities are actually paying for these vehicles, or they're just giving them away as marketing. So it's kind of just gray. But no matter what though, I think regardless, people are getting tired of this type of news and just want more substantial updates. And as it stands right now, you kind of have a lot of looming issues with it and fears, such as technically just the NASDAQ. And I know right now Faraday is compliant with the NASDAQ. That happened, I guess, a couple of weeks ago on Thursday or whenever that was. But as it stands, I did bring this up on a previous video. Currently, the market cap is 24.19 million. And based on this, if a company is trading below the 35 million threshold for a market cap for 30 consecutive days, then once again, it is on the chopping block with the NASDAQ. And that is based on this kind of ruling right here. So 5550B sub 2. So once again, that is kind of a looming issue as well. Right now, it is at $1.14. So potentially, if it does trade below that $1 for similarly 30 consecutive days, it is back on the chopping block again, kind of making that whole 1 for 80 reverse stock split completely useless. So I think right now the sentiment is extremely low with Faraday, despite a lot of good operational updates, because the shareholder value has been getting killed as of late. But take that with a grain of salt though. I'm not a financial advisor. You guys always do your own due diligence. Based on some of the options for today, around 3,900 in calls being purchased versus 17,000 in puts. So based on this information, people are still anticipating for it to trend down. Similar to, like I mentioned, the risks that's kind of looming over Faraday, people are betting that those are going to come to realization. 85% of all the options today are bearish. So that's something just to kind of keep in mind. As far as any big transactions, there's been none since it looks like September the 27th on the secondary market over $100,000. So it kind of does match with the overall volume just continuously going down. And these are all the transactions that have occurred on the dark pool over $100,000. And so it looks like September the 25th has been the last transaction. So I'll give you an overview of what shorts are doing and everything else that you need to know. And then I'll just briefly talk on my thoughts and just potentially what might be coming. So short score is currently 77.2. Utilization is about 80.98%. As far as what shorts are doing today, they are returning 111,000 shares. 32.74% of the free float is being shorted. That is insanely high. So once again, I think I've already explained this in the past, but shorts have just Faraday in its grasp. They're so ingrained in every action. I think Faraday does just need to get their stuff together, get operational updates, more substantial ones. As well, on a side note, it would be very advantageous, wink wink, to Faraday to essentially start that lawsuit, similar to another company that I covered, Mullen Automotive, against the whole market manipulation. So that's something that they've kind of alluded to, and clearly they did recently hire a new VP for their legal team. So it would be more common sense for them to unveil a lawsuit. That would definitely cause a nice spike up in the stock price, because as well, I'll touch on that in a second, but 5.27 million shares overall are being shorted, and cost to borrow average is 19.69 and the max is 25.55. As it stands, based on the interactive broker short availability, there is around 0 shares available to be shorted. So shorts have definitely overextended themselves with Faraday, especially with almost 33% short interest. That's crazy high. So once again, if they do actually unveil that lawsuit, because I think that might be the next big thing, potentially of course, then I assume that there could be a good squeeze as a result. Because in order for a squeeze to occur, you need 4 things: high utilization, a lot of shares being shorted, a high cost to borrow, which for the most part Faraday has all of them. The only thing it's been missing is a substantial catalyst. And of course, the last time it did rally, saying that it actually delivered its very first vehicle, that's when shorts returned a good amount. But they did cause a nice squeeze based on that. But since then, they have just been doubling down more and more. So what's your thoughts on Faraday? Do you think that they're going to become once again non-compliant with the NASDAQ because of either that $1 threshold or that 35 million market cap? What's your kind of viewpoint on that? I do feel just with the overall low volume with Faraday, like you are going to see some pretty substantial spikes. It does happen. So you're probably going to see very fast 20% swing. So if you are swing trading this, yes, definitely watch for the technicals, watch for the kind of moving and momentum and what shorts are doing, because you could stand to make some pretty good money just by quickly flipping this. But overall, I do feel that the trend has been set, and just shorts are so much ingrained in Faraday that it might be too hard for them to kind of get out. And plus, shorts have a target. Those 2 things I mentioned as far as the NASDAQ, that is basically their goal. Because once again, if Faraday does get below that $1 for 30 consecutive days, do you know what eventually might be the solution to that? Another reverse stock split, similar to what Mullen is going through. And Mullen, in fact, might be doing a 3rd reverse stock split, potentially, just to regain NASDAQ compliance. So it's just very, very sticky of a scenario. So let me know your thoughts on Faraday. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And one final thing I just wanted to share with you, take advantage of this promo like I've been sharing with you. Just sign up for an account, throw $100 at it, and you get 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. So this is one of the best deals on the market, only up until October the 20th. With that said, I appreciate all of you watching, and let's all make eventually, whenever that might be, a lot of money on Faraday.